Hello, everyone, and happy Friday. Hope you guys are having an amazing day. It's me, RK, your host of the Adult Play Therapy podcast show. I hope that you guys are enjoying this week and TGIF, right? Today is a magnificent day in which we get to celebrate the end of the week. If anybody's had a busy week like I have, I know that you are excited about it. Of course, the weekend's coming up where it may be even more busy, right? But at least we get a little bit of relaxation going on. So dolls and gals and guys, we get to have a beautiful and awesome guest today. And I'm really excited. Most of you guys know her as Stars Dolls. She will be joining me today for a live where we are going to conversate about dolls, dioramas, crafts, all that great stuff, and doll drama. Yes, doll drama. I am here for it, and I hope that you are too. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce to you our guest today. She's an amazing storyteller and screenwriter. She has scene writer. I'm speaking blessings over her right now with the screenwriting. Come on now. And scene writer. She has the uncandid ability to manifest a storyline from any doll that is in her Barbie room. She's down to earth, sincere, and has a knack for connecting the lives of each individual doll with each other. And she's definitely a master of the cliffhanger effect. And it is my pleasure to welcome her to our conversation so you can be able to take some notes. All right. So I just dialed her in, and very shortly she will be joining us. Hello.
Hello. I love that intro. Oh my God. You make me sound so woo. I love it. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
Well, I'm doing well. Thank you so much. This is
It's
new
so
for
good
me,
to see
so
your face.
I'm a little nervous. So,
Is this this is your first live, right?
this is my first live. Yes, it is.
Yay! Confetti, confetti, confetti! Yeah!
My live has been broken. My live cherry has been broken.
Oh goodness, there you go. I used to use my life.
Right. Yes, definitely. Okay.
Yes. So I thank you for joining me. I really do. I am so excited. I enjoy your page. So I'm excited to hear what you're going to tell me and be able to learn more about you and your dolls.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to ask away. First off, where did you get this very interesting name, Stars Dolls? Where did that come from?
Okay. So this is like my third account on Instagram, actually.
Okay.
I had 2 other accounts prior. So my doll journey started in 2022.
Okay.
Around area. I used Instagram, regular Instagram account, and there was my feed or the algorithm. I don't know how it did what it did, but I started seeing doll accounts or things with people doing dolls, and I'm just like, what the heck is this? What the heck is this, right? So I'm like clicking on it, and it was San Francisco Barbie. So I saw these dolls and how she had them displayed, how she had them dressed, and the backgrounds, and I fell in love. It was just like, oh my God, I want to do that, right? I haven't had a Barbie doll in years, okay? When I had Barbies, their hands were still like this, okay? That's how long ago I had a Barbie doll. So that kind of started, the juices going and stuff like that. So I continued to follow her. I didn't know there was something called a doll community.
Yeah.
That was completely new to me. I didn't know what that was. So I started following her. I wanted to do it. Some stuff happened to me in my life. I ended up changing some stuff. And I bought my first doll, which was a fashionista. And it kind of evolved from there, So that's how it started. That's how my doll journey started.
That's how it started. What made you pick Stars Dolls? Because when I hear Stars Dolls, yeah, I think about just like icon and red carpet, and and each one of your dolls has some type of like spotlight on them.
Right. Yeah.
So I was very curious, where did you get that one?
So the first account was called Chord's Doll Illumination. Kept getting reported. I kept getting reported, and I got flagged. I guess my IP address got flagged, and Instagram kind of like messed me over. So those accounts are gone. So I was going to scrap everything. I was done. I felt like what I thought it was going to be, it did not kind of turn out to be. And I don't know if you could say my my enthusiasm kind of slowly dwindled. And after I lost that, I was just like, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. So my son was like, Mom, what are you gonna do with all these damn dolls? You know what I'm saying? You're gonna do with all this shit. Like, what do you mean you done? What you gonna do with all that stuff? All that money spent. So I'm like, give it away. He's like, no, you're not. He's like, you love writing the stories, Mom. You love the dolls. Don't, stop. So I was like, okay. So I couldn't use the name again. So I had to think of a name. So I said, you know what? I write stories for dolls.
Yeah.
And basically the dolls are stars of my story. So that's how it came in, Stars Dolls. So that's how I got it.
I like that. I like that. And I love how you shared that there was a situation with the social media.
Yes.
And you didn't allow that to defeat you. And each one of us needs that person in the right next to us in our corner saying, don't give up. Because I have that too. My husband's like, there were some times I'm like, I'm not going to do this anymore. Either because of the flagging or because it can be exhausting or because not being able to get to my hobby the way that I want to and really put that dedication in. And you need that voice that says, keep going.
Yes, definitely.
So I'm glad that you did that. And I followed you with the other pages as well. And yes. And for some people who don't know, you also have a blog for your more, sensual, delicious scenes. How can someone connect with you with the blog?
Okay, so I'm trying to fine tune it to make it a little bit more easier to have people be able to log on. But right now, as it stands, the blog address is in my bio. So you have to go on my bio, click on the link, and it will take you to the Google webpage. And I have like pictures or a post set up to show you what it will look like once you get on there. So you just accept, and you go in and everything is there. You can click on the stories. You can click on the go in the archive if any backstories that you missed, if you want to, access it that way. So that's it for now. I'm still trying to fine tune the blog to make it a little bit more accessible, but I haven't been able. I'm not as computer savvy and techie as some people, so I'm still trying to, work out the kinks or whatever to make it a little bit more accessible.
I get it. We do want to put a disclaimer that the blog is for adults only. Okay.
Yeah. Very
this is our time. It's adults.
Adults only, people. Adults only.
Exactly. Were you a Barbie girl growing up?
Yes. So I'm from Barbados. Originally, I'm from Barbados. So yes, coming to New York, I didn't know Barbie, or we had dolls in Barbados, but Barbie was not one of them. So I went to school here. So as I grew up here, and when Barbie came out, I fell in love. I mean, we have more diverse Barbies now. Back then, it was just either, so I still fell in love. I had a blonde Barbie, I had a black Barbie, I had the Teresa, the Miko, the whatever Barbie. And I just played up until I was 21 years old with my dolls. I kid you not. 21 years old, I played with Barbies until one day I got pregnant, and I gave my whole thinking that, you're growing up, it's time to take on adult responsibilities, so the childish stuff has to be put away, and I gave my dolls away. So that was it. Then the what is the other dolls that came out? Was it My Scene dolls?
Yes.
With the Mind Seat?
Yes.
When those came, I actually bought. I was like, wait a minute, Barbie has evolved. This is new. This is a complete different look and everything. I went out and I got the first 3 dolls that came out. Ask me where those dolls are now. I have no idea.
That's how it goes.
So those were the last set of dolls that I had until, the journey here with the dolls now in 2022 when it started.
I love that.
But yeah.
I love that. And I'm just so inspired by you saying that you didn't stop. You just kept going. I want to repeat that again, because I believe so many people do get really hurt and upset and frustrated with the algorithm and with the banning. And I mean, I recently made a comment with hearts, and it was like, oh, you're trying to attract followers. And I was like, how is that? but it is very frustrating.
Yes.
It is very frustrating.
Very annoying.
But don't be afraid to keep going. And I love that. So I just want to share that. I'm going to share that again. Where do your storylines come from?
Okay, so when I tell people that the dolls speak to me, I don't know, people are going to think that I'm crazy for saying that.
No.
But honestly, the dolls speak to me. Okay, so I have him here because this is my guy the story is built around him. Okay, so my other blog, my other account, was Jordan and Alexa.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
wanted to start all new with new characters and everything. And once I got this doll, he kind of changed my whole outlook, my whole everything. So the story is around this beautiful doll, Johnny Depp doll.
Okay. Yes.
So I hold these dolls, and I put my dolls together to figure out who works together as far as a connection, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
So I put them together first, take pictures of them, and see how they look, in pictures, and if they have a chemistry, believe it or not. And if they do, that's usually how I make a couple. And then from there, the stories just kind of evolve from their connection, if that makes sense. And I do not, most of it, so let's just say I'm going to write a story today. It's nothing that I've already written down. It's just something that comes to my head, and I just go and write it and take the pictures, and then I will post it.
Oh, I like that. And that was actually, like, you answered about 2 or 3 of my questions that I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you, how do you hear the voices of your dolls? Like, what's your process when you were able to like, describe that? And I like that you said that you see, like, what is their chemistry? And then also, how do you hear their voices? So, and I love that you gave us, that walkthrough of your process. Are you pulling any stories from people watching, from life, or from soap operas, anything of that nature?
Most of it is from here. Most of it is from here because I have been, as a child, I can sit down and just tell you a story just from, like, people say, oh, they could rap from, from the dome and they just spit.
Okay.
I can start telling you a story and just keep it going and going and going and going and going. So I do some stuff. So it's mostly from here, but it does mirror certain things, but never personal lives of anyone that I know, nor my life, TV shows or nothing. I try to steer away from that. So most of it is either from books I've read before, or I would get a scenario or thought of an idea, and I would kind of like twist it and make it into how I would like it to go, as opposed to doing it exactly as, whatever I've read. I've read so many romance novels. So obviously, I'm a love story junkie. I've read so much romance novels, and historical romances are my favorite. So the way I try to write is that I try to equate that kind of, so for modern romance writing, the wording is a lot different, which is a lot different. Yes. As for historical, the verbiage is different. So I try to equate the historical verbiage kind of into the modern to make it more, more felt, more steamed, because I just love the prose. I just love the way they wrote, how the stories, how they spoke. I just love it. So that's how my dolls kind of speak a certain way.
Yes. Yes. I picked up on that. Actually. I picked up on that in a different language of communication between your dolls, but then also I'm thinking of Elizabeth right now and the way that she speaks. There's this elegance to the historical verbiage, as well as very descriptive, and I picked up on it. I was like, oh, okay. And plus, I love me some King James version of the Bible, so I picked up on that.
Yes.
I did. I picked up, and I love me some William Shakespeare, so I did. I picked up on. I was like, oh, okay.
Different feel. It's a different feel, and when I read, I lose myself in the verbiage and the descriptions and how they. I mean, they don't have pictures like we take pictures of the dolls and show the dolls as well as stories. So they paint a picture that's so clear. When I write, despite me showing you the pictures, I still want you to get that clear understanding of what they're feeling, even though they're enamored dolls. I still want you to feel, get the feeling of what they're feeling. If that makes sense.
Yes, it does. It makes perfect sense. And I was actually going to ask, what was your background as a writer? But this is just an innate gift that you have.
This is what Robin, my beautiful friend Robin, follows me, and she's another one that keeps me going. Her and my friend Kamiko Bride. Oh, they I've experienced some stuff in the dark. I'm not trying to
You're fine. this is a safe space. So as far as like between you and I, it stays right there. I understand people are on our chat, but you don't have
Yes.
to worry about me going back and being like, oh, you talk to kids IG. Like,
Right. I experience because there's an underbelly of there's an underbelly side of everything in life apparently, and the dog community has an underbelly of not nice stuff. And I kind of met some beautiful people,
yeah,
and for whatever reason they and I fell away, and it became a block thing, which I don't believe in blocking people, because I think for me, what am I blocking you for? If you want to see me, you see me. If you don't, you don't. I don't need to block someone, because I feel like I don't have time for it, right?
yeah,
So I lost a few people that were close in the beginning, and they fell away. We no longer associate or whatever, and it's fine. I have a group of supportive ladies that I currently do speak to, whether it be, on here, on the phone or whatever, and they're very encouraging. And some of the
yeah,
readers, they reach out to me in DMs, and they are so sweet. They are so encouraging. They are so funny. And Dark Shadows, Sloan and Blake, Danny Poppy Barbie. These are just a few that I'm naming that I've spoken
yeah,
to. They are just amazing ladies, and their interactions with the stories, it's helpful. And I mean, I do it because I like it, and the fact that
yeah.
other people like it, I'm grateful for that, because my mind is crazy as hell. And if I get people talking, my brother's like, "That's a good thing." If they're upset, he said, "That means you doing the right."
It's true. That's right. I've seen in the comments when people put like an emoji,
Yes,
but then or they'll put like a GIF on there, and it
yes,
matches to express how
yes.
they feel about what's going on in the story, and some of it can be so hilarious. I love it.
So,
Um,
yeah, they're supportive. They're very supportive of what I do, and they keep me going. Angie Barbie's another one. She makes clothes and she sends to me, which I think is so
yeah.
amazing. I said I've experienced some bad, and then there's good also. So that helps to keep me going. Your interview with the Cotrals, when she said about the burnout and having to take time, that was
Yes.
me with my thing. I was like, I'm done. I'm done. And what she said, when she said it felt she had to write the stories as opposed to her wanting to write the stories, the other account, that's what it became for me. It became
Mm.
I gotta go post, so let me go post. Not that I wanted to post. So I wasn't feeling the stories. I didn't think I was connected to them. Even everybody seemed to have still liked them. For me, it was something missing for me, and I kind of lost interest. Then I lost the account anyway, so it's just like, whatever. And that's why I was like, I'm done. I'm completely
Yeah.
done. But this one, I like where it's going. I like the tales I'm telling. I like the
Yeah.
dog. And the feedback has been great so far, and I'm just rolling with it as it goes along, because there's days when I don't want to do it. I'm not going to lie. There's days when I get up and I'm like, my grandson is like, "Grandma, can you play with me?" And I'm like, "Grandma got to do a Hey, Grandma wants to do a story. Can you give me a minute?" So, but then there's sometimes I got to do a story. I should do a story. Not that I have to do a story, but I should do a story. But there's sometimes I just feel like, what is the point? Why am I doing this? What is the reason? What is the purpose? So, Robin, we'd be like, "Girl, cut it out." Like, stop it.
I love it. I
Just
love your honesty with this. I want to go in two directions with this.
okay.
One, I love that you did point out
Hmm.
that there has been some discrepancies in the community,
Yes.
and not to stay on that
No,
at all,
it's fine.
but I do know that I've gotten DMs from people saying
Mhm.
that the dog community is not like it used
Yeah.
to be. And there have been people who have said, I mean, we've actually lost members.
Right.
There have been people who've told me like I'm closing my account. I don't want to do this anymore. Now I'm not experiencing the same thing,
Right.
and if I am, it's probably in how, because we got 10
Ooh,
kids, my husband and I.
God. Right.
So for me, it's probably like not as much of a. I'm like, okay, you don't want to follow me, that's fine.
Right. 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 Right.
I gotta make dinner.
Right. I have other
I
things to
gotta, clean up this boo boo right here. Somebody just fell. Got to deal with that. Got to, work
Right.
on their schooling.
Right.
So life is constantly happening for me. So whenever people don't want to follow the account, or if they have an issue with what I
Right.
post, I'm not really able to focus on it that
Right.
much. But I
Yes.
do know that the comments that are said,
Mhm.
and people's attitudes and perspectives can be very damning.
Yes.
It can be very hurtful for people.
Yes.
And I'm glad that I'm honestly, like I said, this is a safe space. I don't mind you bringing it up because I do believe that it is something that needs to be brought up. And I
Yes.
love the factor being that you said you found your community, you found
Yes.
the people who are encouraging for you. And so for anyone else that's experiencing that, because I've heard multiple times, doll community is not like it used to be. So if
Right.
anyone is experiencing bullying or just feeling like they're left out, I would love to encourage you to find your people, even
Yes.
if it's two people,
Yes.
one person.
Yes, it is very important because in life you always need someone to help you anyway. So this community, like I said, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing, but unfortunately there is an ugly side to it at times, you know, and some people have experienced that. I haven't experienced like the full total ugliness of it, but I have lost people that I thought, you know, we were cool for whatever reasons, you know, it fell away. So, but it happens, you know.
So it does. It does. It happens in person. It happens virtually. And I love, like I said, that you said, find your people, find the ones that's encouraging you. Don't go to
Yeah.
spaces where you just tolerate it or, you
Right.
know, having to chase after someone and find out like, why aren't you following my account anymore? Or why did you write that to me in the comment? I thought that we were cool. Just, you know, as much as you can, let it be what do they say? Like water off a duck's back, like just let it roll off. Exactly. And find the people who appreciate you and really cling to that. So that I love that you said. And then your other thing that you said that I would love to highlight is that you said, what is my purpose?
Yes.
Why am I doing it? And I think we all get to that point because it's like, why am I doing this? What is the point? And I would love to highlight, I spoke this to someone recently, it may even been we catching up with the Culturals, that there was a story by actually by Doll Stories. It's like underscore doll underscore stories. And her doll was a phenomenal writer as well. Like I just love all you guys. But
I love her.
But in that, yes. And I see her name like often whenever I'm like hearting. There's her name right there. I'm like,
yes.
But she had a storyline where Black Widow was really Natalie, she goes by Natalie in that story. She was just confused on why Captain America had asked her to marry her. And she didn't really feel like she was enough. And I was able to, you know, I love babies. So cute. I'm gonna guess. This is off subject. ADHD is kicking in. What is he, about 4?
Yes, he's 4. Yes.
Girl, we have a 15-year-old all the way down to a 3-year-old. So I try to like, adorable. I love babies. Oh my goodness, now you just threw me off. But no, but her storyline I was able to share that story with another friend of mine who's not in the doll community, does not play with dolls. I think even when we were kids, she didn't play with dolls. And she said that story helped her.
Oh, really?
Helped her process where she was currly at. So I wanted to share that because her stories do have purpose. Like I was able to share a storyline from Doll Stories and send it over to her. And the interaction of Natalie Black Widow with I can't think of her name right now, but yeah, like Captain Marvel. That interaction and their conversation, she said, helped her where she was at.
That's awesome.
So I don't know if that's that kind of gives you a little inspiration that what we do does have purpose.
There is a lady that follows me. Her name is Miss Williams, and she was going through some stuff, and I'm not going to bring her business, but that brings up to mind. And she told, she's just like, she loves my story. She was going through something, and my stories, just looking forward to reading my stories, kind of help her through what. And I'm just like, really, so hearing it is just like, really, you know what I'm saying? And it's not that I don't feel that I write good stuff. It's always that thing where it's like, you are always your worst enemy. So you understand what I'm saying? So that's what it is. So for me, even though I do it because I love it, it's still great to know that it resonates with people, So that was really an amazing thing to know that my stories helped her through something that she was going through at the time. So
yes.
It was nice.
Yes, so there is purpose in what we write, guys. There was purpose when we did it as kids. We didn't have the video and the camera and stuff, but now
we have them.
Yes. Speaking of camera, do you use your phone or do you use an actual camera to do this?
Phone. I still have an iPhone 11. Don't come for me, people. I have the iPhone 11. And I use that to take the pictures for the stories, and it takes great pictures still. So I may upgrade eventually. But right now, I'm good. It still works. So yeah.
Hey, if it's not broke, don't fix
Don't
it. You know what I mean?
there you go. Exactly. Exactly.
Keep using it. Keep using it. Now, I honestly, while reading your storyline,
Huh?
I really thought, I was like, is she a romance writer?
Mm-hmm.
Are you a romance writer?
Well, romance is the genre that I enjoyed reading. So the most of my stories may be romance based, but it's not all romance because I'm going to try to do a darker. I'm trying to go in a darker area with the stories because I have so much going on in here that I feel sometimes like I'm behind because I already worked it out here or it's already here, and I'm just like I see it, I know what I'm going to do, but I haven't done it for you guys to read it yet. So it's just like I feel like I'm behind in actuality, but I'm so ahead here in my head. But I want to go a little dark. I want to go a little darker, more menacing, not evil, but just darker.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. And someone brought up about lyric, which we are going to get into lyric. We have to get into lyric. When you said darker, we were already
Yes, lyric. Right. So
we're already thinking about lyric. We can transition to lyric because I'm very curious to find out. Are we going to find out why she is so crazy? Like, we're going to find out something about her past?
yes. I am going to give a backstory for lyric and to explain why she is what she is. So I'm going to kind of push the boundaries with her a little bit more to see how much I can get away with her because she's such, I didn't intend for her to be this diabolical because that's the word I'm going to use when I introduced her. She was going to have an edge to her, but I didn't know how much of an edge she was going to have. So as the stories kind of progress, she is just, like I said, I look at the dolls and the dolls write their own story. They write their own stories.
Yes.
You hear? She's telling me this is what I do. This is who I am. Write me well. So I'm trying my best to write her as well as I can. But she's diabolical. She's not done yet, but she's done.
I love that. Now, how are you able, because you have a plethora of dolls
Yes.
and a plethora of different storylines. Yes. So one, how are you able to keep those storylines separate where they're not merging or personalities aren't being intertwined where they're monotone?
Like I said, the dolls speak to me. So I know what I would like for them, but at times it turns out that as I start to write the story, it will veer in a different direction. That seems to work. You understand what I'm saying? What I intended at the time, but then when I decide to put them in a scene, okay, so I could be here, and all of a sudden I'm gonna be like, oh, Logan and Victoria, and it's just Logan and Victoria. I don't have an idea what Logan and Victoria are going to do, but it just says Logan and Victoria. So I take out Logan and Victoria, and then it just flows from there. So I would write the scenes, like the scene with them when she was sleeping in the bed. It was just like, oh, I wanted to show, they came to mind. So I said, okay, I'm going to show Logan and Victoria. But I didn't know what I was going to do because the last scene with them, his mother was at the house. So I didn't want to prolong it and belabor that situation because it was already done. But I still wanted to keep it current to say, well, this is what happens after. So it was mostly to just give an update as to what they were doing after that situation. So I just saw her in the bed laying down, and the story kind of took off from that. It started with her laying in the bed. So I just, had her laying there and him watching her, and it kind of just ran from there. So I kind of put in little things about what happened after and where they are now and stuff like that. Now, the story with Xander and Zuri and his mom, I still have things. Okay, so I'm rambling. I'm sorry.
You are fine. You're fine.
My first account, I got burned out. I really did because I felt like I had a lot of characters. I have more characters in this one than I had there. And it's flowing. It's flowing in a way that I did not expect that it was going to flow because I know some people's like, oh my God, there's so much people I can't keep up. But for me, in my head, it's like I could write about Logan and Victoria today and I could go write about Xander and Zuri in their situation tomorrow. And then I could turn around. So I try not to write about one couple all day. So I would try to mix it up and write about Xander's story, then give you Victoria, then give you this body, and give you that person. Sort of kind of keep the stories moving along and not so much sticking in the area. So the way I can't even explain to you how I juggle them and keep them from not smashing. I really I don't know how to explain it. I really don't know.
My apologies. Oh, is right.
It's okay. It is okay. But yes, I I really, like I said, it's just I touch them or I look at them or just something will come in mind and I just will go on with that. And that's basically how I write the stories. I rarely write anything down. Now names, because I have so many characters, the names I definitely write down. I have
Yes.
to write down
Yes.
so that I don't give another character the same name by accident, not realizing that, one already has it. So the names and for Logan's father and Victoria's aunt, their story I wrote down because I know something I was going to go back to later. And the key points I did not want to forget when I was going to retell it. So I wrote their story down, for reference, go back and tell it later and stuff like that. So, but most of the stories, what I usually is just, I write them the same time that I'm posting. And that's that. Unless it's something that I want to go back to later, then I will write that down and keep it for reference for when it's time to bring the story into play. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I agree. And what I'm getting from this the most is leaving room for your characters to speak. Not being
Yes.
so rigid on what needs to happen the way that you want it
Yes.
to. Because then that can also lead to burnout because you kind of have these forces fighting against each other.
Yes.
The characters have their story,
Yes.
and then you're trying to push what you want.
Yes. Definitely.
So
Definitely.
yes, definitely going with the flow. And one of my biggest questions too is what is your secret ingredient that you would share with other people as far as being able to manage? I know that you said you don't know how you do it,
Right.
but do you have a little bit of a secret ingredient to share with us on how you're able to manage all these different characters and their personalities and writing their storyline out?
Um. Well, like I said, he did the stories about them, so I try to keep them as a focus. Even like I connect them together in some way,
Yes,
either a brother, a cousin, a college friend, or a mother, daughter, so that way I could remember who is what and to write for them in that vein. So that's why I try to keep everybody that comes in new some kind of connection to them. So now I want to do a college scene with the kids and I introduce Quincy. So Quincy's Bryce's brother. That way Bryce could then come in with Katori and you could see their situation, what's going on with them. And at least I know who he is. His girlfriend, I'm sorry, I'm going ahead. He's going to have a situation and the female lead I have for him is connected to somebody else in the story as well. So that
yes,
way, right, so that you know who is who and she's a stranger, but she won't be a stranger because you know who her family member is or whatever her connection is to the community. But it's mostly Logan and Victoria centered with all the other people as the supporting cast. They're the
there you
supporting cast.
go.
Right. So how I keep it in things, like I said, the connection to the main characters. I try to keep everybody as connected without overpowering the story, if that makes sense, to make
Yes.
it too jumbled up. Because I want them to have their separate lives, but still be connected to, the characters or whatever in whatever way they can be. So that's how I kind of manage it. Not try to bring in,
I get that.
a whole bunch of new people that have no connections to anyone, because then that makes it harder to kind of keep the stories and connect, at least flowing, if that makes sense. So I try to at least keep them somehow connected in some way.
I
That's how I manage.
like that.
Yeah.
I do. I like that. We talk about the spider web effect,
Mm-hmm.
how, or even like a family tree with the branches coming off,
Yeah.
so everything has some type of
Yeah.
connection point. Would you say that Victoria and Logan, is that your favorite couple? I
Um.
know Logan's over there, so don't.
Look. She's like, don't leave me out of this. She's like, oh shit, I'm here trying to cross. Victoria's like, I'm
It's
here
hard to
too.
focus.
I'm here too.
It's baby belly.
Yes. So when I started the new account, they were the focal. They were definitely the focal. It was about them. I fell in love with him as what was his name in the other account? Oh Jesus, don't make me a liar now. Rogers, Holden. His name was Holden, and she was
Yes.
Natalia. And I fell in love with them. And so when I started the new account, he was, like I said, the main focal point, which she was going to be the woman he fell in love with. So I gave him, I wanted to equate all the other dolls from the other stories into it. So that's why I gave him so many siblings, so that those other dolls would have a play in the thing. So that's why he had Jordan was his brother, Alexa was his sister, and Spencer, who was Tristan in the other stories, was his brother. So that, and then Jagger and the other girls that was their wives, I didn't leave them out of the story from, from the past thing. So they are definitely the focal point, but the others, like I said, the others have come in and can stand on their own.
Yes.
But these are the stars. These are the stars of my doll stories. These are my couples.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
They are. They are. And I also noticed that, when we speak about Logan and we look at his mother, Melissa,
Mm-hmm.
and we look at, is it Alexander and
Mm-hmm.
his mother? And I noticed that you deal a lot, and even with Alexander and his brother,
Yes.
you deal a lot with family
Yes.
dynamics. And I love family dynamics. That's part of my own background. What made you dig into that and confront that?
Well, my family dynamic was not the greatest growing up. So maybe that's in the back of my mind, maybe that's why I kind of delve into that. I never gave it thought until you just asked that question. So it's a possibility. Family's important to me. My son, my grandson, my mom, we had our issues, but we love each other. At the end of it, we love each other. So we're not perfect, right? But we do the best we can. And we're here for each other. So I don't know if, that is the reason why I kind of delve into different dynamics with families and whatnot. But when I did the reason why the reason why I got rid of Melanie was because the smile. I hated the teeth. I hated the teeth. Because for me, I'm writing a story, and then the smiling dolls kind of take away to me from the emotions. I don't know if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
No, it does.
Right. Her smile kind of not irritated me, but it kind of is the reason why I kind of killed her off. And I did not have any intentions of bringing her back. She was going to die. That was the plan. Then for some reason, she shows up at the door, and I'm like, Cordelia, what are you doing? What are you doing right now? And I'm like, who the hell is this woman? I was like, her twin. She had a twin sister. How she had a twin sister? Nobody knew about a twin sister. How the hell are you going to write this? And then it came to me. She was locked away on the side. So that's how that came up. And then I found
There you
the
go.
Audrey Hepburn doll that was similar in looks to her and her mom. And that's why then I wrote in, well, this is going to be the new Melissa. Because if I found her first, Melanie would have died. I would have but you know what it was too? Archer and Pamela's relationship. I wanted Archer and Pamela, they want to have a time together. Because Pamela is Victoria's aunt.
Yes.
And she and Archer were together when they were younger. And they fell in love. His father was not happy with her as his choice and forced him to marry Melanie. And their love kind of fell apart because of that. So I also wanted Archer and Melanie to have their time because I felt like they should have their time. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I killed off Melanie too. It was so that Archer, I can see Archer cheating. I just didn't see him cheating on Melanie after what, how Logan hated him for what he did before. I didn't see him cheating on Melanie. So the only way that I could have kind of made that an actual thing was to kill her off.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, when we talk about killing off a character, because I battle with that. I battle with that in my writing. I battle with that in my storytelling with my dolls. And I talk about that. I'm like, I have a hard time with it. How easy was it for you to do that, or how hard was it for you to do that?
It's hard because Logan and his mother were like this. So it was hard. I didn't want to because I kind of made their relationship a love story. It became a love story. They loved each other. He gave up Pamela and he was dedicated to her. Their love story, their love prevailed. He respected her, liked her. She loved him and liked him. So it was hard because of that. And Victoria, I knew eventually was going to get pregnant, and I knew Melanie would have loved to have a grandchild. So all of that kind of was a struggle. It really was a struggle. So that's one of the reasons why I kind of brought back his mother per se and Melissa too, because then he will still have his mother. She could still have the baby, but I don't know if I'm going to make Melissa completely good, right? Because of her trauma, she has some issues and she felt unloved all her life, and she did what she did, and her sister didn't kind of screwed her over, because if her sister didn't do it, if they had followed the plan, no one would have ever known their secret, right?
That's true.
So she feels betrayed and she's angry, and now Logan doesn't want anything to do with her. So I don't know if I'm going to make her a Melanie, like Melanie in a way, because they're different characters, but killing off Melanie was hard. It was hard. I plan to kill off somebody else too.
Oh, I almost thought that Akira was about to get killed off.
But I'm talking secret, I shouldn't say. But there may be another death. There may be definitely another death.
Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Like I said, I thought Akira was about to get killed off. I was like, oh
no. I know. I left that hanging because I wanted y'all to think so. I was going to kill off Akira. I was going to.
Oh, you heard it on here, guys.
I was going to kill Akira. Because I was going to bring somebody else. I don't know why, but no. After, when the shooting came in, the only thing that made sense to Lyric was trying to get rid of Akira from Wyatt, because she's loony. She's not playing with a full deck. No, she's not crazy. She's just a sociopath. And because of stuff that happened in her life is why she is the way that she is. She has a heart, but because of all of her, I don't want to go too much into it because I want to write about it. She's unempathetic. She's just cold when she has to be because of stuff that may have happened to her in the past. So she wanted to hurt Wyatt for hurting her, because that's what it was. It's not even so much she wanted Wyatt back at this moment, because if she could get him, she would. But for her, taking out Akira would have hurt him, and that's what motivated her mostly, was to hurt Wyatt, right?
She's
and then
survival.
Yes. So hopefully then Akira dead, eventually she could probably weasel her way back in there as a shoulder for him to cry on, and maybe get back and thing with him and stuff like that. But her aim was horrible, because I was going to make Akira's wounds close to life threatening, because the way the gun was aimed, it was kind of aimed like right at her. So I'm like, I can't miss. How can I miss? I'm saying she got to get hit. So my son was like, you don't have to make it thing. He's like, so he was looking at the picture. He's like, okay, she obviously is close to her arm, so let her get shot in the arm, and the other one you could just brace her. I said, okay, that makes sense. So then that's how that kind of unfolded from there.
What?
But yeah,
I'm glad that she did live. I am, because I like her as a character. Quite honestly, I have that doll.
You do.
I have that Facebook. She's so beautiful, but I guess I couldn't really figure out what I was going to do with her, and I'm still iffy on how I'm going to utilize her in my story. But seeing your doll has given me a greater appreciation for her, just honestly. And I was like, no, don't take her out. Plus, you've got baby girl.
She got right, and Araya needs her mother. Araya will not do well without her mommy. So yeah.
No. I do have a question. How are you able to really tie the loose ends of your stories, of the different storylines that you have? How are you able to tie up those loose ends? Do you go back into your feed or to see what happened, or
remember from here? Because I don't want to leave a story not finished. Now, there's a character that I started that I haven't gone back to, and I'm not sure if I'm going to go back to him, is the Roman character, which is the one that Pamela, that I don't know if you know, he was involved with Logan's aunt, because I have stories for her too. Logan's aunt, Tina, he was involved with her, and then he kind of fell for Pamela. So I don't know if I'm going to continue his character. I'm kind of just going to let him fade off. But I try to not, I don't want to leave stories open-ended, if that makes sense. I like to finish them or continue them depending on the dolls. So so I have 4 main couples. The 4 main couples is Logan and Victoria.
Yes.
Xander, Wyatt and Akira, and Carter and Amani. Those are my 4 main couples, right? So they are always going to have storylines regardless to whoever else is coming in there. Now, the college students that I'm starting to write now, the doll Q, I am so in love with that doll. I don't know what that doll did to me, but I am so in love with that doll. And I have a whole story waiting for him to write. But I don't want to, I know I kind of don't want my readers to be like, oh God, here she goes with something else now. You like, can you finish the one you started with such and such? So I'm trying to play out other stories first before I kind of delve too deep into that, because I love him so much right now. I love him so much right now. I love him so much. I don't know what it is about that doll, but I love that doll so much. So he is going to, my college scene series, it's not so much a series, but the stories, if anything,
Yeah.
is going to be most about him. It's him.
I
It's he's in that. Okay. So yeah, but yeah, my four couples, those stories, you know, they're the people. So the other supporting characters, you may not see them a lot, but if they fit into the story with the four main couples, then you definitely will see them. But I
see.
try to write.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I believe that you have to do it while it's in while like the juices are still running for you. You know what I mean? Like you said that he's an exciting character right now. You're getting a lot of storyline from him. So it's not even so much as, is this going to take the audience in a different direction? Are we going to agree with it? I believe that for those that are truly committed to Stars
You're right.
Dolls and the account that you have, we're going to roll with you.
You're
So
right.
I believe that you just need to, if the story's flowing,
Yes.
don't quench it. Don't
Yeah,
don't
right.
quench it. Just let it keep on flowing. If she's giving it to you,
there, and
go.
I want to delve into it so bad, but then I'm like, I don't want people to think that I'm not going to go into the other stories, because I'm still going to write those other stories too. Those, I'm not done with those. I have a lot of stuff planned for them. So it's not, they are the four main characters. So I'm always going to write about them. Regardless to who else I'm bringing in, they're the four mains. That's it. It's them.
I
It's
love
them.
that.
Yeah,
And look, like when I wrote down my list, I don't know if you guys could see it, but like literally when you were saying it, like this was the only one I had down here, but I had everyone in the order.
Really? You see? So that's what I'm doing well. Hold on, you figured it out.
Of
That's
the
the first.
characters.
Yeah.
I was like,
Those
you
are my
said your four names.
Yes, those are my four main couples. So I'm always going to write for them, regardless to who else I am bringing in. Tegan is Victoria's sister, and her and Amari are going to have their time. I haven't forgotten about them. Detective Amari and her. And the other people may have stories too, but like I said, my four mains is definitely always going to be my main focus, mostly. Definitely that.
I love that. I love that. And you just got someone who said they added you on to they're now following your page. They're going to enjoy it just as much as we do.
Thank you. Thank you. That's so amazing. That's awesome.
Now your other doll account friend, Robin 2177, which she's on here right
Yes.
here. Do you guys share storylines, or do you guys have like a writer's guild going on? I always wondered. I was like, oh wow, because I always see you guys.
Yes.
I'm not saying always, but I do often see you guys interact with your story.
She's like I said, she and Kim, Breeze. I don't know what Kim's tag is called. Is Breeze Dolls? Is Breeze BREB Kimiko? We talk,
for life.
and I don't give them story plot lines, so I want their true reaction when I post the story. So I may sometimes talk to Robin, and I may say, well, this is what I'm thinking, and she's like, oh, that could work, especially like with names. She would help with sometimes with the names, the ages, like, picking out the ages, or sometimes the careers or what they're doing and stuff like that. She's definitely been a tremendous help with that. Storylines, she would call me. She's like, what the hell was that? What the hell are you doing? What the hell? I cannot stand Eric. Oh my God, please tell me that you plan to take care of her. Stuff like that. And things. So I'm like, you want to tell you? And she'd be like, no, I want to be surprised. I want to be surprised. And most of the times I want her to be surprised. But she definitely is an ear when I am trying to like figure out sometimes if I want to, I will come up with an idea, because I'm always coming up with some shit in my head. And she's just like, girl, how do you do that? And I'm like, so what do you think? You think that makes sense? And she's like, if she does, she would say yes. And she does. She's like, well, I don't know, or we will fine tune stuff. But she's there. She's there, and she's amazing. She's absolutely amazing.
That's good.
I love you, girl.
That's good. You need that. You need that. And then, you got brother love, because I know that we do have male collectors as well. Yeah. But you need that. It does help to motivate and push and give you enthusiasm with your story, and then vice versa. And then whenever you guys have your crossovers and stuff, because I've seen Victoria and Logan go over to her house.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. I love what you guys are doing. So I say keep on going with it. When it comes to lyric, we're going to bounce back to lyric. I only got a couple more questions. I'm going to hold you just for a little bit longer. But when it comes to lyric,
Mm-hmm.
lyric is quite interesting to me. And I love movies from the 80s and 90s. I'm a movie buff. I'm a movie buff.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
And so when I see her, I mean, like, there's different characters I
Yes.
think about. What would you say are like the three most like villainous female
Glenn
characters that come to mind?
Attraction is number one. Glenn Close definitely for Fatal Attraction. If I have to say, she has some of her qualities. Kathy Bates from Misery,
Ooh.
because she was just sweet but crazy as hell. Do you understand what I'm saying? Who else? Who else that I'm thinking about? And some of maybe Alexis Carrington kind of to me, because she was just Alexis was cold. Alexis just was cold. And that coldness I kind of have, to me, I get from lyric, has that coldness like Alexis Carrington. But definitely Glenn Close and Kathy Bates from Misery is definitely my two things. If I have to say, she could definitely be there with them.
Now,
she could.
now Alexis Carrington, is she from Thin Line Between Love and Hate?
She's from the Dynasty. Alexis Colby from Dynasty.
Okay, because well, I thought about Thin Line Between Love and Hate.
Yes, and her too. Yes, Thin Line.
When homegirl was hitting her head against the wall, I thought about her hitting her.
Lawrence, yes, Lynn Whitfield, yes, those three. Kathy Bates, Lynn Whitfield, and freaking yes.
Girl,
The hitting against the head, yes. I thought about it then when she beat herself up to frame Martin's character or whatever.
crazy.
Yes. I did not know when he was in the apartment and she came there, I did not know what was going to happen. Because I saw him attacking her, then I said, no, Wyatt is not, he's not stupid, right? And he would not do anything to put himself in jeopardy to be taken away from his woman and his child. So for him to have attacked her, I didn't see that happening. But then she's so calculating to me that I saw her doing something to make it look, so that's when I said the phone, she's recording him. Why are you recording him? You know he's not doing anything. So she's trying to push his buttons to make him react so that she can have something. So when she was like, oh, you attacked me. When he called her crazy, that pissed her off. So that's when she was like, oh, I'm not crazy, but you want to see crazy? I'm going to show you crazy. That's when she was like, you came into my apartment, your woman, accused me, and now you attacked me? What the hell are you talking about? And girl went over there and banged her head against the wall, touched her face, like, look, what were you saying now? You didn't do what now? So she's that kind of person. And she's pushing Jeremy now to
get catch up to get the blood.
My grandson has paint. So I used some of his paint and put on her forehead to make blood.
And it didn't stain.
No, it's water-based, so it came right off. It came right off.
I just got a little tip. Yeah. I just got a tip.
Yes.
I was like, oh, ketchup, but it looks so good on there. Yeah. And ketchup runs so I didn't know how you kept it from running.
Yes. I put it, let it drip, and then I put her hand to like smear it, and it went on her face. It looked absolutely perfect. So I was like, yes. So she had some on her hand, and it just worked well. It did. But yeah, she's crazy. She would hurt herself to prove a point. That's how diabolical she is.
I love to. I'm pulling a point out from what you said, and just for anyone else that needs the advice as you write, is to keep your storyline in perspective with the personality of your character. Because you're right. Like, I really wouldn't see Wyatt being that person that would attack her. Like, no matter how angry that he would get, that's just not out of line with his personality. So yeah, when we write, oftentimes you can want to be like, he's gonna attack her, he's gonna do that, but does that make sense for his character?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So I couldn't let him attack because that's not his character. No matter how angry he was not going to put his hands on her. He would not have. Now, if it was a self-defense kind of thing, that's different. But for him to just want to attack her, no, he couldn't. I wasn't cool with that. You know what I mean?
Even with self-defense, he kind of strikes me as someone that, like, if she's coming at him, he would grab her wrist.
Yes, he would.
He's more like, I'm not going to let you hurt me, but in the same,
he would.
Yeah, I'll put you over on the couch or something.
Yes, he would not.
He's not going to be physical. Now, that one guy that none of us was upset about him being killed off the story. He
would hit a woman. Kent. Victoria's fault. He would have hit a woman. Listen, girl, that man. I got more stuff because the whole storyline with his death. kind of moving slow with it for a reason, but I'm going back to it. Amari's going to find his evidence to find out who the killer is, and there's going to be a storyline behind why he was murdered and stuff like that. So it's coming. It's just I'm slow moving it, but it's definitely coming. It's definitely coming.
Yeah, you know we're going to go for the holidays. Is any of this going to be revealed during the holidays, or do you have anything spooky or anything like that coming up? You too.
It's going to be revealed soon. It's going to be revealed soon because I want to progress him and Tegan's relationship. So he doesn't want to. He's a good guy, and she is the victim's daughter, and crossing the line to go and be romantically involved with her. This is why he's been trying to fight whatever it is that he feels whenever they're together. He doesn't want to step over that line. So stuff is going to happen that's going to kind of force stuff before stuff, but the killer's going to be revealed soon. It's going to be revealed soon.
I like that. Hey, we don't mind. Someone said we are loving the slow burns, and I'm in agreement with that. Like we're loving the slow burns. And I do want to examine just a couple of your characters before we get done. Zuri and Xander.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I, number one, want to applaud you because you took on, I do. I don't know if anyone, I'm certain though, people have probably commented or given you. Okay. So maybe this topic is a little bit of a hot topic, but are having...
Lola, I wonder.
But it is an issue that we do need to talk about because people should be free to be able to love and be with who they want to, quite honestly. And quite honestly, race has been going on since the very beginning. That's just something that you're naturally this color, whatever color that you come out the womb in.
Yep.
And I believe that storyline is encouraging, just like you said, to someone who is going through issues with in-laws, who are not willing to accept them. Their mate fully accepts them and loves them as they are, wouldn't want to change anything about them, but yet they are confronted with the in-laws or they're not married yet, but the boyfriend or girlfriend's parents. So I'm interested in following that journey on how that plays out.
More in store for them. I have more in store for them. But I always say, like I said to Robin, because she's like, when Logan and Victoria's going through stuff, you better fix this. You better fix this. And I'm like, regardless to what they go through, Logan and Victoria they're going to be Logan and Victoria. Now, as for the others, I can't say that there will not be problems where it may come in that some of them may break up, but they are slated to be together in my world. You understand? So even if situation comes up and there may be a breakup here, but eventually those four mains, I have to be together. They are together. So unless something happens,
Carter and Imani together. Yeah, I do.
Okay, so how that came about, right? Wyatt. I changed, first of all, Wyatt was changed to this. When I got that doll, I changed the original Wyatt to, him and whatnot. And the character kind of evolved from there into a whole different character. Him and Imani were great together. But then I got the doll that became Akira, and I just fell in love with her. And for some reason, again, the chemistry between her and Wyatt, and for me, it was there. And not saying that it was more so than him. And I'm like, okay, she's somebody from his past. It just has to be she's somebody from his past. And that's how that story kind of evolved. So once I knew that Wyatt was going to end up with Akira, I said, I can't do that to my girl. I can't do that to Imani. I love Imani. Imani's so sweet. She's so beautiful. And she's someone that's just as great as she is. So when I got the doll, I did not know what I was going to do with him because he was buffy. And I'm like, I hate the hair. What am I going to do with this damn doll? FOMO. FOMO is a real thing. So FOMO is why I got the doll. FOMO is a real thing. So now I got the doll. Yes. And I'm just like, here and here came out good. So I'm like, he's not bad looking. I can work with this. And then him and Imani, it worked. So that's how that came about. So those two, they hot, girl. They hot. I got plans for them too, but
they have instant chemistry. I am loving them. Yeah. I'm so glad that Marcus got kicked to the curb.
Yes. Marcus. Jesus. Marcus. That's all I got.
But I love to. And hopefully maybe prior to this closing, closing up, you can share this. I love how each one of your characters literally has their own voice. Yes. I appreciate all different accounts. But I just really find myself diving deeper into accounts when each doll has their own personality.
Thank you. I'm glad, because that's what I try to do as much as I may, you know, because I read somewhere when someone said like, "Oh, you write a story, and you're giving voice to someone, and it's your voice." You know what I'm saying? But you're writing for someone else, or like a man writing for a woman, giving a woman a voice. How do you know? How do you make it authentic and it not be your voice? Or
Yeah.
does that make sense? So for each doll, I'm glad that you said that, because I have a conflict with that sometimes, and I'm figuring like, okay, even with the sex scenes, I don't want to be repetitive. You know what I mean? In the same scenario, same situations. Because my men are lusty men, okay? I don't know if you read the blog, but my men's, they lusty, okay? They are lusty, experienced men that know their way around a woman's body. With that being said, I want each love scene to be different. Even if I'm maybe using the same words or same, I still want it to be different, if that makes sense. You
Yes, it
know?
does. Yes, it
So
does.
Carter and Imani are earthy. They're raw. Logan is sensual and sexy, but he also has that edge to him. Xander's edgy, and he's also raw and carnal. You know what I mean?
Yes.
They all have different things, but they're still, if that makes sense.
Yes,
Does
it
that make
does.
sense? Okay.
No, it totally makes sense. It totally makes sense. I'm telling you, after this live, I'm probably gonna have to grab my husband and
You know, somebody told me
turn
that
some of that
they,
raw.
someone wrote me and said to me, they got ideas from my stories on the blog, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me that I help them with certain things. And then I'm like, what? My niece even said, Auntie, I want me a Logan. I'm like, tell your husband that. Tell your husband that.
See, see, you're helping people even with in the bedroom. There's nothing wrong with that. You see, I had to like fix up my scarf, and it's chilly down here.
It's getting hot in here. It's getting hot in here. It's
Get
getting hot in
hot. Let's get hot. We're trying. We don't want to work on a number 11, although you know it could happen after
here.
reading your
That
stories and your blog.
girl said, woo, child. Robert be calling me like, she's like, sis, what the hell? What the hell? She's like, girl. So yeah, my son, when he doesn't read them, he's like, I'm not reading it. I'm not reading them. He does not like to see me doing the sex scenes. He does not like to read the sex scenes. He's just like, yeah, no. He comes in the room and I'm posing him. He's like, oh my God. And he turns and he walks out the bedroom. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, get out, get out, get out, get out.
Exactly. Because it fits. Well, but listen. I like how you do your intimate and sexual scenes because it's not just thrown in there sloppy. It's not just like, hey, we're gonna make a soft porn where we know that the sex is gonna be the main thing. We're just gonna put this little soft storyline just to get it done. It's not like that. You have very intricate
Yes, thank you.
storylines
Thank
that
you. Thank
stand alone
you. Thank
on its own. And but I mean, we are talking about adults, and you know,
you. Yeah,
consummation does take
yeah,
place, especially if married.
yeah,
So that's just like the natural thing. You know, we're adult collectors. That's one of the
yeah.
main things. Adult play therapy. This is adult,
I like that.
and so not everyone does that in their story, and that's fine. I
Yeah.
appreciate all different kinds of stories, but when it comes to yours and how you do it, I feel that it's not done tacky. It's not done messy.
And that's
Yeah,
right.
it fits into the story and it becomes a part of it. Just like when we talk about Lyric, who is I know that she's not part of the
Yeah.
four, but she's a very intricate character right now. Okay, and she uses her her feminine woo, you know, this feminine energy and the sexual energy to be able to kind of entrap her prey. So
Mm-hmm.
if you
Mm-hmm.
took away that, then you really do take away a big measure of who she is as a character.
Yes, 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 definitely, definitely. She somebody wrote that she's a harpy. They wrote that she's a harpy, and I said that's an accurate description because she's reeling Jeremy in with sex, and Jeremy is so it's what he wanted. That's why he was with her. He wanted the sex, and he got that, and now he's in a situation where now I think after kind of going ahead, but after the conversation with her, and she's telling him, "I want you to hurt him." That's his,
Yeah,
you know, despite whatever, that's his friend. So I don't know what he's going to do, how he's going to handle that, because she's trying to get rid of him. So if he does go and do this, he could get arrested. He could get, you know, or if Wyatt don't kill him, because you know Wyatt, Wyatt is not going to stand and let Jeremy hurt him, friend or no friend or whatever. So I know what's going to happen, but I don't want to say anything to give
Yeah,
anything away. But
don't let us find out.
right. So I am he's let's just say he after this situation there with her, y'all might see a change in Jeremy. You might see a change in Jeremy. You might.
I can see that though, because think about, if we think about the different news reports, because of course, I mean, because we can pull from so many different areas,
Yes.
and understand that you aren't so much as focused on pulling from news or daytime drama or anything of that nature. But if you do look at the news, there's been many different reports of people that have been killed or harmed who are no longer here
Yes.
because of a friend that got with their ex. And then the ex possibly lied because she wanted to get revenge.
Yes.
And now that one guy is locked up and the other guy is no longer here or is in a critical condition. That is that's something that does happen in our reality. And it's sad, but you do have very cruel, calculated women and men. I'm not just going to blame women, but in this case, we're looking at Lyric.
Yes.
And they do that.
Yes. And she's definitely trying to get him to do, she doesn't care about him. She used him, which again, everything's going to be revealed, but she used him. She's using him. And she's trying to push him to do stuff that can get him hurt, killed, arrested, or whatever, because she has no uses for him anymore.
Yeah.
So,
well,
that's who she is.
Oh, we will be following the journey with Jeremy. Journey with Jeremy to find out what he's going to do. Is he going to come to his senses or not? But oftentimes, like I said, you follow those news reports. Those young men, when they get a little bit of that poontang and it tastes so good and it's so different. She has his ear. I mean, look at if we look at this from the Bible. You know how much I love Bible stories. When you look at it, who was it? Delilah and Samson. He gave up his whole secret about his strength, laying his head in her lap. I was like,
pillow talk, and let her know what his secret was, and look what she went and did. Betrayed. Listen, the woman's center has brought down kingdoms, dynasties. Okay, a woman's center can, if she knows how to wield it, she can break up anything, destroy. So she has learned how to use her things to her. And Jeremy, not he's not bright, but Jeremy has I don't know if you read it, he has said that he's a tool.
Yeah.
He cheated on Yuri, and he's supposed to be with Tony, which is Akira's friend. So obviously he's cheating on her with her. So he's like, it's this, he follows the sex, he follows the thing. So he's I guess he was easy to manipulate for her. So she just used him. And that was that. So I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know what he's going to do. I know what he's going to do, but I don't know what he's going to do.
I'm just curious because, like I said, I have my psychology background. I'm curious to know what is going on with Lyric. Was it something that, don't reveal it either. Don't reveal it to me on here. I'm just in my mind. But see, that's a good thing about how you write, because it makes you go, why is she like that? Was this taught to her? Did she have such a rough upbringing that this was how she had to learn to survive and navigate the world around her? Was it a combination of both? Was she just an outlier where everything was perfect in her world, but she just has a little bit of a demented mindset? I am just so curious. So I'm on this journey with everybody else, but I do love how you are able to really bracket all of your characters and have them span with each other. Are we going to see more of Dr. Montgomery and Dr. Pamela Margolis?
Yes.
Are we?
Yes, because I think that he likes her, that little interaction there with her and him. She got a promotion. She's now on the board. So he kind of took over as the head of the surgical department, and she's not happy with him and how he does things. So they're going to kind of butt heads, and Archer still wants Pamela back. So that's also going to be a little triangle thing there. I think I may be working on that with those three, because my thing was to definitely get Archer and Pamela back together. I took some pictures with them, and they look so amazing together. So that is in the back of my mind, that I want to put them together, Pamela and Archer, to finally have them together. So when it's going to happen, I don't know, but that's what I have in my head. So, but right now, yes, Dr. Montgomery, he like her.
He seems like someone who doesn't really want to take no. And I'm not trying to say that he would force an issue or anything of that nature, but just He likes the cat and mouse kind of chase, and
She's a strong woman. She knows what she likes. She worked hard. She's a Black woman, and she had to work hard, you know. And for her, him, blonde, beautiful, handsome man, come in and think that he's just going to disrupt what she worked hard to put in place. She's like, oh hell no, you are not going to do that. I don't care. I worked too damn hard for this. You're going to respect what I did, you know. So
yeah,
he's just, you know. So she may not be thinking romantic, but he is. So I don't know how that's going to play out, you know. But yeah, there'll be some scenes with them, definitely.
I like
Yes.
that. I like that. I like that. Well, I want you to know that you have a true fan in me with your page, and I am so glad that you didn't allow the bans and restrictions of social media to stop you.
My God, girl, it was difficult. It really was, because like I said, I was kind of in a dark place then too, and then the posting became more of an obligation more than an actual joy of wanting to do. And I I was like, I'm done. I'm done. I don't want to do it. I didn't want to look at a doll. I didn't want to think. But then my son was just like, nah, you can't do that. He said, you can't do that. And I'm glad he did, and Robin did too. And yeah, the thing was brought up. And like I said, there's some days when sometimes I'm just like, I'm not doing no damn stories. I'm laying in my bed, I'm reading books or taking care of me or something. So but I love to write. I love to write. I It's not something that I always did, because I, like you said, you love movies. I was a movie buff, and girl, listen, movies was my thing. Then I got into romance novels. It was the silhouette books first. I don't even know, silhouette romance
Yeah.
novels. I
Yes.
started silhouette romance novels, and I devoured those in the Sweet Valley High books. I
Hmm.
loved those books. And then I had moved to Jersey, and it was not going to hold you, but it was a lady
Fun.
that a thing called a paperback exchange in the a paperback exchange. So what happens is you would bring books and exchange them for books that she had within the store and pay like a minor price for the
Oh,
books.
wow.
So I went to get more silhouette books. This is my son was probably like maybe 2 or 3. I went to get some silhouette books. So she's like, have you ever read? She started naming authors to me, and I'm like, I don't know who those authors are. I don't know none of them people. So she was like, you should try reading such. That's how I got into historical romances. So the first book that I ever read that was a historical romance was called The Warrior, and it was by Nicole Jordan. That
I'm
book,
writing.
that book, that book changed my whole life. I kid you not. That's where my love of historical romance started from. It was with this guy that conquered his castle, and the girl that was in the castle was the daughter of the fallen king, and he was supposed to marry her, and there was some kind of betrayal, and she became like his wench. That's my favorite word, you wench. She was the mistress of the castle, and when he took over after the betrayal of her father, he kind of became the king of the castle, and he had her doing menial work, even though she was supposed to be his equal. He made her his slave, and and it was a great book, and I fell in love. And it was a thick book. I didn't used to read thick books. It was a thick book. I read that book in one night, and I
Oh,
went back,
wow.
stayed up, and read that book till I was done. I went back, gave it back to her, and she gave me more books and more books. And I had by the time I moved from where I was, I had over like 600 romance novels that I bought.
Wow.
600 books. Joanna Lindsay, Nicole Jordan, Stephanie Lawrence, Sylvia Day, Linda La Miller. Oh my God. Oh, Brenda Joy. Oh, girl. That's where my love of romance came from, reading those authors. And I've always said I want to write a book one day,
Good.
but I'm like, what about writing? What do I know about writing? I don't know nothing about no
You
damn
already
writing.
are.
I
You
put this
already
telling myself. So when this whole doll journey came, I just wanted to pose my dolls, but I said, what? I don't just want to pose them. I want to write stories for them. So
are.
that's how then the stories came, as opposed to just making a fashion thing. I wanted to write stories for the doll. So then I tried it, and I love it. I do. But my brother wants me to write a book. He's pushing me to write a book. He's pushing me.
Mhm.
He's like, and and other people
You
are
can
on
take
here
everything you
also.
already have on your blog, on your post, and literally
That's what he
translate them into the book.
that's what he said. He said, you got all those stories. She's like, take those and make those into something. He's like, what are you waiting for? and you know, you have to be ready though. You have to be ready. And there's a couple of ladies that has also DM me, like, when are you writing a book? Because I'm waiting. And I'm like, really? You know how hard it is to write a book? So I've already kind of went on Amazon to do the, you know, he's like, try an ebook, try something. So so I'm currently working on something, but I'm afraid. Writing on Instagram and doing little short stories is one thing, but writing a whole book, I'm like, what do I know about writing a story? What do I know about writing a book? I don't know anything about writing a book. So it's a slow process, but I'm definitely going to make sure that it's something I before the end of the year I get done.
There you go. You got your time stamp on it and everything.
Yes.
It is a scary process. I remember when I wrote my first one, but indie all the way. I wouldn't go anywhere else with it. And I'm telling you, once you get started, and quite honestly, you already got the work. Your brother's right. Like all the posts, because you don't just have dialogue, you have descriptive dialogue. And then what I also love that takes me all the way back to my romance novel days is that you're not describing the phallic or the entrance of it the same exact way for each one of the interactions, or you know, and each person's storyline is different. Like literally you could select one couple, two couples, or all your couples and literally build a book with it and just have different chapters, you know, with like the name of your new couple, and then you write whatever post that you already have, and then put, you know, like another page with that couple's name and write on it. And you can just keep it with, you know, you can keep like that same flow that you have. There's so many different areas that you could, you know, go to with it.
Definitely trying. I got a bit overwhelmed when I went on Amazon. He sent me the link, and I went on Amazon, and I'm looking. They talk about do a book cover, and they're talking about this, and then it's copyrighted, and I'm like,
you
Instagram
on the Amazon KDP publishing?
Yes. Yes.
I think if you have any questions, I can help you with that.
Oh, thank you.
Not a problem.
I don't know what the hell to do, and I'm like, do I do a series? Do I do a novel? And I'm like, I don't want to start anything big that's overwhelming. So if you have any input down, I will definitely bend your ear, because I am there, and I have, I think I have my pseudonym that I want to use if I'm going to write. I already picked out a name for myself, but it's just trying to decide novel, series. And like I said, maybe I didn't want to so much take what I have on Instagram and put in a book, because it's already out there. So I figured like maybe I should do something fresh that no one has read yet. And, you know, so it's just, I'm all over the place, and it's just daunting at times. It really is.
It can be. It can be. What we can do, honestly, is just like we set up the time for our conversation here, we can do like a Zoom, and then that way we can also have the laptop and everything, you know, integrated to be able to walk through the different parts.
I'm confused. Honestly, when I got there, that's what had me stumped. And I was calling him to try to be like, should I copyright this first? Like, what is it called? And he's just like, you know, you explain that to me. He's like, you just go ahead and write it and post it. I'm like, it's not that easy. Just write it and post it. So since you know, and I definitely am going to bend your ear. Definitely. Thank you so much.
Oh, no problem. No problem. That's what we're here for. You know, God has us to be here for each other and help each other. I know something, I'm going to share it, and vice versa.
Yes. Thank you.
Most definitely.
Thank you so much. Because I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed. I'm definitely overwhelmed. And then trying to do stories for Instagram and trying to think of stuff, it gets a bit much, you know, so yeah.
Well, the first thing you're going to do is write out that story.
Yes.
Because when you write the story, that's what you're going to upload the document. So you're not actually writing the story into the KDP app. Right. You're going to upload from your Word. So whatever document that you have gets uploaded into their system.
There you
and then you create the book.
Okay, honey, I am going to be talking to you offline, and we're going to be talking, okay? Because I want to do it. I want to, even if nothing comes of it, I need to do it to know it's something that I did. You know, so to keep wondering, I just want to do it, and that's it. So I am definitely going to bend. Yeah, definitely going to bend.
Because then at least when you did it, it's not a regret. It's not like you go through our life going, I wish I would have, I could have, maybe I should have, but I didn't. You got it done.
Yeah.
And then who knows? You know, I end up coming to New York and, you know, going to your book signing where you can autograph it. So
that would be amazing.
Speaking into existence.
Yes, speaking into existence. Cause listen, my son, he's also too telling me the same thing too. Mom, write a book. I'm like, why do y'all keep saying it like it's so easy? Write a book. Okay, I'm gonna write a book. No, it's not easy, you know. So I love
It's,
my story.
it's just baby steps. It's
I,
baby steps.
right, baby steps. So baby steps, definitely baby steps. Oh my God, thank you. I appreciate
That's
that.
no
Thank you.
problem. That's no problem. Honestly, it's no problem. So yeah, we'll walk through that together. But I'm
Okay.
excited. I'm so excited. Like I said, when I was reading your story already, I was like, oh, she has to be a romance novelist. This
You
is nice. But I was one of those people. I can't remember if it was called Silhouette, but back in the day when you could send in your coupon or whatever, and then you get like a box of romance novels.
yes, yes. That's yes. My love of it started from there. It did because I was devouring those. Get the like the free glasses and the wine glasses and the thing with the books, the free gifts. Oh my God, yes. You took it back. Yes, 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 yes.
I remember that. And me and my friend, I used to go to like, because I knew
Mm-hmm.
those middle chapters
Mm-hmm.
was where all the
Yes,
salacious,
you go
intimate
put it
details.
yes, yes, yes. Oh my God. You brought back memories. The boxes would come to the house with the books inside. I pull out them 6 books and I'm devouring those books. Yes,
Yes.
yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness, yes. Yes, those were good times. They were. They were. I read this one book before we go. Then I wish I had wrote the name down, at least
Mm-hmm.
the author. It was called The Princess and the Pauper. And it's a
Mm-hmm.
romance novel.
Really?
I don't know if you read that one, and they had the princess and the one that was more of well, she was a pauper. They end
Mm-hmm.
up exchanging places because we usually always hear about the prince and the pauper.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother's close friend, who I always called my
Mm-hmm.
aunt, was the one who let me read the book.
Mm-hmm.
And I was very young, and I probably shouldn't have been reading it, but I got into that book. I was like,
Yeah.
what? I mean, it was nice. It was definitely a romance novel. And in the end, which I hate to give a spoiler alert, but they decided to stay switched
Okay.
instead of switching back.
And switching
'Cause-
back. Okay. It's
yes, 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 because the loving was strong,
yeah.
and Princess said she was not trying to let go.
Okay. I love that.
It
I
was
yeah.
good.
I romance. That was my genre. Once I got into it, if it's romance suspense, romance horror, erotica, it just the genre is romance. Romance,
Yeah.
romance. I read a lot of erotica, let me tell you. Lord.
But look at what you have right now. Like I said, it's not done messy. It's not sloppy. It goes right along with the storyline, and I'm really enjoying. Like you said, right now we got these mysteries going on.
Yeah.
Who killed?
Mm-hmm.
Kent the
Mm-hmm.
jerk. Who? Although we have a real good idea that Lyric shot
Yeah.
Akira, but
I wasn't
still,
going to let that be revealed, but I said, you know what? It's okay for y'all to know because now I need y'all to go on the journey to find out why she did what she did and why she did it and stuff. So yeah, she shot her. It was her. It was her behind. So I plan to recreate the scene of the night it happened and show it from her standpoint how it all went down.
I like
Mm-hmm.
that. I like
Yeah.
that. And see, like, and when I talk about being a movie buff, I love movies from like the 30s and 50s
Mm-hmm.
and 60s, and 70s and black exploitation movies. And now, so when I think about that, I think about movies in the 30s and 50s.
Mm-hmm.
We had movies where they revealed who the killer was. But
Yes.
like you said, then you have to journey
To
throughout the
find.
movie to find out if they get caught
Yes.
and if they ever admitted or anything of that nature. So I like that.
She gonna get caught. She has to get caught. She has to get caught. I just haven't figured out. I'm kind of have an idea, but I'm not. I haven't flushed it out fully yet. But she's gonna do a little damage first before she gets caught.
Oh,
Because and
she's
even
doing some damage.
if she's caught, she's not gonna be gone because she's a favorite character of mine. So I'm not gonna
She
get rid of her.
is. And that's what
Yes.
I love about, like the bad guy villain character,
Mhm.
the diabolical one, the Corellas. I'm telling you, because they really do add
Yes.
that zest and that fire that you need in your story. And they do become very likable.
I love her. I love her to death. I love her calculating coldness. I love how she does things and she's just unapologetic for even though she knows she's wrong as hell. Because like she said, when she gets mad, she reacts and she doesn't like that. So she tries to think. But once she gets that anger going, watch out. She's
Yeah.
off. She's off. She's off.
Mm.
But I like her so diabolical and I could play with her and be wicked with her. Not because I'm not going to do it to any of my other people. So with her, I get to have that license to do with her. And I killed Kent off, so I can't use him. Rex, I'm on the shelf for Rex because Rex
Yeah,
can be good at
Rex.
time. So Rex is kind of on the shelf with him. He's good and bad. He's good and bad. He could go either way.
Rex is a trip. The Rex is a trip. Because I saw where he reminded Victoria about the trip, and I was like, but you know she's pregnant. And I'm not saying pregnant women can't travel. You know, I understand that. I'm pregnant. I travel. But then you're gonna have her in a stressful environment with work, and she just had to leave early. Like that's not computing to you. He's still like, I don't care if you're pregnant or not. You have a job to do.
There you go. That's why he can't. Is that why you left there? So she's like, yeah. What's the problem? Why are you asking? You know. So he has a reason.
A straight conversation. Yes. So this has been really odd to me. But nonetheless, I thank you for your patience with everything going on. But like I said, this has been a conversation I've been wanting to have with you for a while.
I hope I didn't talk you to death too much, because once I start yapping, I don't know how to stop. So I hope I didn't talk you to death.
No, I mean, like, but think about it. How many times do we get a chance to really just talk our shit about dolls and story? You can't just have this conversation with everyone, because not everyone gets it. They'll just be like, oh, okay, that's nice. Because a lot of people don't get into their hobbies.
No, they don't. And we're lucky that we can, which is amazing. I love that.
So very true. I feel like there are so many creative people around us, but not everyone knows that they're creative because they haven't allowed themselves to tap into it. Yeah. So whenever you're able to have conversation with someone that's like-minded, it's
amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is. It's a breath of fresh air. It really is.
Yes, it is. It's amazing. Like I said, the doll community is not something I knew was even a thing. And when some of my coworkers, I told them about it, they were like, what? I'm like, I write stories about it. They're like, you do what now? What is that now? And I'm like, there's a whole world of Barbie and people do it. They were like, really? I said, yes. And it was shocking. And I'm glad I found it. I love it. I love it here. Despite some of the ups and downs, I love it here. I definitely do.
Me too. Like I've said to other people, you know, whenever they tell me about their experience right now with the doll community, I'm like, you know what? If I wasn't a part of it, I wouldn't have gotten a chance to meet you.
Yes.
And I feel like, you know, I sincerely feel like that regardless of the up and downs and the roller coaster and people just being people, because people are still people, you know, there's actual humans behind the account.
Definitely.
Yes. So not everybody's going to be agreeable. But nonetheless, you still meet such awesome, amazing, creative people that really do have a loving heart that you wouldn't meet otherwise.
Yes.
So.
Yes, it's true. And I've met some amazing women. Arts and Dolls, Robin, Kim. Like I said, the list goes on and on. But we talk, we share reels, you know, and it's a beautiful thing. And these are people from different countries. Some people are here in the United States. Some are, you know, and it's amazing. It's amazing. So it's not all bad. It's definitely not all bad. You count you now too as well. So it's just a beautiful thing. And I love what you do. I love what you're doing, which I told you before. And even from when I used to follow you, so I know what you're doing. I know what you're about. I didn't read your book. Don't come in, but I didn't read your book. I'm gonna get your book, girl. I'm gonna read your book. But I think you're doing amazing things. And I appreciate the fact that you wanted to talk to me, because I'm like, when you talk about doing dioramas, I'm like, I don't know how to create stuff. I don't know how to make stuff from scratch. I can
do your dioramas then. And I love the window scene because it just takes me back to like a pent apartment, with penthouse apartment.
Penthouse, right? High rise kind of thing. So I don't craft, like make stuff. If you give me furniture, I can decorate a scene. I can decorate a room, I can decorate a space. So the majority sometimes of the spaces that I made is just foam board, put up in stuff, and I just put the furniture in and decorate it. But as far as making stuff like with I don't know. I have never tried. Now, but yeah, I could decorate a room like crazy.
Hey, the same way. Now, I often do wonder though, especially like, do you have dioramas like all throughout your room? Because lyrics, I like that part of it.
Room. So everything's in my bedroom. So I have to clean after everything that I do. So if I like for the instance, office in Victoria, that was right in front of my bed. I put the foam board and made the space, and I just put the furniture in to make the office. Then I removed it, and I made Wyatt in Akira's bedroom, right in the same spaces, using different furniture. So it was the same as that space. So once I finish, of course, I have to clean it up because space is limited. But my window is a godsend. so I can set up different scenes in my window, which is Zuri and Xander's apartment. It's also the thing house and stuff like that. So that kind of helps give me space. So the majority of the rooms and stuff I do is right in front of my closet, right in front of my bed. Yep.
So do you go back and look at your old
Yes.
posts to find out exactly how
Yes.
you put everything?
Yes.
I
I
get it.
remember, so I have to go back and look to make sure that I'm putting it back exactly how it was, because I will forget. I definitely will forget. I'll make a whole different space. So I try not to do that, and I will go back and try to replicate what I did, prior or whatever. But yeah, yep.
That's
Mm-hmm.
good. That's good. It's good stuff right there.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's about it. Crafting is not much. I don't craft much. I don't make doll clothes. I don't know how to. So, but I write and I set scenes up. That's all I
There
can
you
tell
go.
you.
There you go. And who knows? Who knows? That
Right.
may be something, like a spring activity or something, to go ahead and do some crafting and get, just try your hand at it and see how it goes.
Mm-hmm. Because I see some great
No.
accounts. You hear him? Some
Yes,
accounts that have some ladies that make their stuff, and I'm just like in awe. And I was like, I wish I had that talent. I wish I had that capability, because the sky's the limit. Let me tell you, my house would be full of doll stuff and room boxes and everything. My son would be like, enough. But unfortunately, I don't have that that technique down pat. So it is what it is. But yeah,
Well,
I'd
they
love to see.
say practice makes, better.
Perfect.
It does. I've seen some people where they started off that, and
Mm-hmm.
now
Evolve.
2 years later, it almost looks. I can't even say almost. It looks better than the Mattel manufacturer.
Right. But you see it,
I'm
right?
not knocking designers. Don't come for me on that. I'm not knocking any designers, but it's
It's
just
the truth. It's the truth. Some of these things is just amazing. And sometimes I'm like, that's for a doll? That looks like it's for a human being. It's so freaking fun. It's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And I love it. I love it here. I love
I love that. I love that. So, guys, you heard that. She loves it here. I love it here as well. There may be some ups and downs, but let's not forget what our main mission is. And that's being able to have our dolls, have our safe space, our sacred spot where we can just go
Yeah.
ahead and enjoy ourselves. Honestly, do our photographs,
Yes.
communicate with the people who encourage us, and build those kind of relationships. So I'm so glad, like I said, to be able to see you on here for us to have this conversation. And I just feel that you being able to press through all the different situations
Mm-hmm.
that's happened on social media, continuing on with the story. I didn't even know we were going to talk about that, but
Really?
I believe that's an encouragement to other people as well. And then you saying that there were times when you didn't want to. I just saw so many different nuggets in this conversation, and not feeling the storyline, which
Mm-hmm.
may have been a God sent situation when they closed the account, because it was already,
It was a
you know, it,
it kind of, yeah, you're right. That kind of worked out. Maybe
it
that's what it was
really,
supposed
really
to do.
did, because now you have something that your juices are flowing and you're writing all these different stories for your different characters, and
Yes.
it doesn't feel as much of a hassle and as heavy and stressful.
It's fun. I can actually say this time around, even though I have the multiple characters, it's fun. It definitely is fun. Sometimes I'm tired and I may not want to do something. I'm tired, or I'm spending the whole day setting up a scene. I have to dress the dolls, put on the earrings, put on the jewelry, set the scene up, then write the story, and then take the pictures. It can be draining, but other than that, I this one does feel different than the first one. The first one was fun, don't get me wrong, and I loved it. But this one I think is a little bit more personal for me than the first one. I love these characters. I
Yeah.
love these dolls and stories that I've written for them. So it's a little bit different for me, but this time around. So it's my little baby.
There you go. There you go. And so I just want to, like I said earlier, I appreciate you for your
Thank
yes.
you.
I appreciate your time
Thank
being spent with me.
thank you. Thank you.
And like I said,
Thank you.
I think after I get off this live and I get my kids together,
Yes, yes, because I took enough of your time. Thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity.
to fulfill some of that raw and
Yes,
edginess.
yes, ma'am. And my grandson too. He's ready for me to come give him his stuff too as well. So
There he is. He's adorable too. He is
thank
so
you.
sweet.
He's a mess.
All right. Well, I appreciate you. Thank you, everybody, for joining.
Yes,
Love you
thank you.
guys. be talking again, and definitely
Yes.
look at your schedule, and I'll look at
Okay.
mine so we can set up a Zoom and we can walk through it.
Good.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You have
Thank
a great
you.
day. Babies for
You
me.
too.
Okay.
All
Bye-bye.
right. Well, bye
Bye.
bye.